I love my baby girl more than anything in the world, and I would die for her without a moment's hesitation. Everyone said that I wouldn't believe it was possible to love someone as much as I would love my kid, and they were absolutely right. Before I had a kid of my own, I had a couple of more fringy friends who told me that they prioritized their partnership and their own well-being above their own kids. I really didn't know what to make of that. It went against every cultural message I'd absorbed about what it means to be a mother. The sacrifice, the martyrdom, the guilt. To me, all these words were all wrapped up together with the word mother, and I'd honestly never spent much time questioning that. I remember seeing mothers who looked overly put together and silently judging them because I assumed if they were that fit, their hair looked that good, and their outfit was that well styled that they must be neglecting their children. I mean, where did that come from? I'm clearly not saying that you should put your own needs in front of your kids' basic safety and survival. If I feel like lying down for a rest but my toddler is screaming for food, the kid's gotta eat and mama's gotta wait. But beyond the basics, I'm inviting us all to question the assumption we have in our societal programming that a mother who sacrifices herself for her children is inherently a good mother. I remember sitting in my rocking chair with my 5-week-old baby sleeping in my arms, listening to Elizabeth Gilbert interview Cheryl Strayed on her Magic Lessons podcast. They were talking about motherhood, and Cheryl shared her experience growing up with a mother and also being a mother who was committed to her own work and creativity, not at the expense of her children, but at the same time as her children. Cheryl talked about how powerful that was for her as a child because being raised by a woman who took care of herself and her creativity gave her permission to become a woman who was creatively fulfilled. I sat with tears streaming down my face as the assumptions I'd inherited about what being a mother meant unraveled. I looked down at my tiny girl and realized that sacrificing my passions in her name would not only be betraying myself, but it would be betraying her. Because she needs a mother who's connected in her own life force to show her what that looks like. She needs it because I'm a better mother when I'm feeding myself physically and emotionally, and also because I'll raise her to know that her passions are sacred and that they make everything in the world better. There's never a time when dimming your light is a holy act, especially not on behalf of your children. We've all heard about putting our own oxygen mask on first. That message has been passed around so many times that I think it's really lost its meaning. And despite every single self-help book out there still using that analogy, I don't think we've really grasped it or put it into practice. It wasn't until I was nursing my baby and having trouble with mastitis and my milk supply that I realized how this whole thing about taking care of ourselves so we can take care of others really works. My baby was depending on me for nourishment so she could survive. In order for me to have enough milk to feed her, I had to get some sleep, eat enough, and be well hydrated. Oh yeah, and it also helped if I was calm because there's this whole hormonal flow thing about prolactin and stress hormones, and the more safe and supported a mother feels, the more milk flows, literally and metaphorically. I got it. There really was an order of things. My baby's life depended on my self-care. This was not a nice reason to book a massage every now and again or to get a pedicure with my girlfriends. This was about the survival of this new life that had overnight become the most precious thing in the world to me. But the only way to take optimal care of her was taking care of myself. If I didn't hand her to my husband to go upstairs and get some sleep, if I didn't put her down to make myself some food, and if I didn't ask for someone to just refill my water bottle or maybe even make an entire meal, she literally wouldn't have survived. It's a fundamental law of nature that if you don't care for yourself, you're not able to be of service to anyone else. I understand that it's not always possible to get help in order to take time for yourself, but what are the subtle ways you can prioritize yourself throughout the day, even if you're on duty 24/7? Even a decision internally to look for ways to prioritize yourself can really make a massive impact. So let's say I'm feeling really stressed out and irritated one day. It's one of those days when my kid won't stop whining and every nerve is feeling stripped and frayed. I haven't slept, I haven't eaten well, I haven't had enough water, and I haven't moved my body in any kind of intentional way in days, possibly weeks. I have 2 hours. If I ask for help and take 1 hour away from myself to practice yoga, go breathe in a corner, or take a nap, and then I come back and spend 1 hour with my girl, totally refreshed and present and thrilled to be with her, we're really both better off. It's better that my girl gets an hour of happy, calm, present mama than 2 hours of distracted, irritated, resentful mama. Quality over quantity, right? If you need to do a Jedi mind trick with yourself to get yourself to take care of you, look up some of the research on maternal well-being and how it relates to children's well-being. The science doesn't lie. Every child who's made it onto Earth depended on the well-being of a woman's body to get here. Whether you birthed your kid or not, your child's life depends on your well-being, mind, body, and spirit. Remember, a mother literally cannot feed her child adequately if she's malnourished, dehydrated, and stressed out. But when she's well taken care of, she automatically produces more milk and better milk. She doesn't have to think about it or put in any effort. Her body and feminine nature automatically do it. So next time you see a mother who looks well rested and like she spent a few minutes caring for herself, instead of judging her and wondering about the welfare of her children, or assuming she must have a ton of paid help and then resenting her for that, give her an encouraging smile. She's doing the best thing for herself, and in so doing, she automatically is doing the best thing for her kids. One more thing. Ladies, we are wired to share the gifts we're given. We can't help it. Don't worry that if you take care of yourself, others in your life will suffer. That's impossible because it's literally against the way we're designed. A well cared for, well-nourished mama nourishes the world. Nourish yourself first, and everyone has more than enough to eat.